Right, welcome back to the channel. As you can see, the Swift Cut is here in the farm workshop. A few videos ago we went to Swift Cut HQ and I was really impressed, and I thought I've got to try and get one of these in the farm workshop. And as I've said before, you can't buy happiness, but you can finance it, which is what has happened just here. Last time we looked at where I took a cultivation leg over to them and they photographed it, and then we cut out another one, and I'm still learning how to do that at the moment. But basically all you do, you take a picture and then you send it to, well, you email it to the cutting machine, and then do that. But I've still got to learn that. So what I've been doing, when you buy one of these machines, you get they come and set it up and train you and everything. These are a few bits I've just been cutting out a minute ago, just slowly learning, just a few little bits and bobs, nice and easy bits and bobs. But before we go have a look into that, let's have a look at the actual cutter. So we had a look at water jet cutters, we had a look at water beds, which is this one. So this is the one I've gone for. This is a full-size sheet. There are smaller machines that you'd have in like a garage, and there are two bigger size machines as well. But I've gone for this one, which takes a full-size sheet of steel. Yeah, so the water bed, I went for the water bed because then you don't have to have an extraction, which is, I found that a big plus, because having all the extractors and everything was quite expensive. I mean, you'd think this machine would be quite expensive, but I would compare it to about the price of a new 18-ton grain trailer. And that's with a massive hypertherm plasma cutter as well, which we're going to have a look at in a minute, so we can do some seriously thick stuff. So yeah, like I say, I've done those bits. We're going to have a look around the touchscreen computer as well. I thought I wasn't going to be able to use it very easy, but after having a couple of hours being shown how to do it, I'm actually really confident we'll be able to do some bits. And I'm going to be doing a bit of testing today as well. So I've got like a cultivation disc I want to try and cut some holes out of because it's domed. I want to try and cut my name out of this as well. But anyway, right, let's have a look round. So if we go around here, we've obviously got the engraving machine on here, and we've got the mechanical torch which goes up in here. Inside there you can see a few bits. Over here I've added a hose pipe with a little jet on it as well, so I can like wash stuff down or whatever, or when I want to top the bed up with water I can do that. This pipe here, which is connected to the back of it, is when you want to drain the bed. So I put the pipe outside the door or whatever, turn the tap, and it completely drains the bed down. We've also added some into the bed, we've added some like anti-rust stuff, and then these little tablets as well, like a fungal tablet. So that just makes it safe to be in the workshop, I think. Up here, obviously we've got the air coming in, and then on this bit here, these are like the air filters and water traps. This one here goes down to the plasma cutter, and this one here goes down to the table. This one here then goes down to the PowerMax 125 Hypertherm, which has got this massive 65 amp supply. The table itself only runs off a 3-pin plug. So you could have the table running off a 3-pin plug, and then whatever size plasma cutter you want. If you had a little Hypertherm 45, you know, you wouldn't need that much power, but I've gone for this real big one, because then we can this will pierce, it'll cut 25mm thick steel, and then like a cut from the side, I think it will cut 32. And also as well, if we unplug that, we can put like a handheld torch in it as well, which I'm led to believe it'll do something crazy like 52mm thick steel like that. So I'm pretty pleased with that. So go big or go home. Right, so I've got my little seat, got touch screen. Also as well, I've made like that little frame just there. So that sort of holds the plasma cutter out the way, because usually you'd like sit up on the floor, I guess, but might get a bit dirty, and I thought I'd keep it out of the way, keep it all clean. These are all like the consumable bits. So we've got the, in here we've got the electrodes, and then all different sizes. So we've got like a fine cut, then we've got like I think that does up to like 3mm, that one. And then anything past that, we've got like a medium cut, and then this big one here, which does up to like 25mm thick steel. I think, I'm still learning. Everyone else is learning, I'm learning. So I keep them just under there for the time being. Next door, I've made it easier as well. I've made a steel rack just here, 120mm box section, and I've welded it all together in different sort of intervals from 3mm right the way down to 25mm. So when I want a piece of steel, I'll pick it off a steel rack and bring it round, just put it straight on the plasma cutter. So quite pleased with that as well. So in this bit here, it comes with like loads of parts pre-loaded, so you haven't got to sit there and spend ages drawing. So we've got like, I think there's like 89 different parts. So look, there's like different gaskets, and like this would be like for the bottom of like a shed stanchion or something like that. So got all that. What else we got? There's loads of different stuff. These are the gaskets that we had to go out cutting out earlier. Triangles, circles there for like washers, shims for digger buckets, oval shapes. It's really good the way they've done all this, isn't it? Like it all comes pre. These will be for like pins, look, on, I don't know, for holding the pin in the end. So then I haven't got to sit and draw. We are going to have a look at the drawing in a minute as well. But yeah, it just makes it nice and easy, doesn't it? And the thing I've gone for just here, this, which is this is going to be, so what I'd do, I'd double click on this, and then I can put all like D1, so D1 just there. Want to change the outside circumference, whatever. It's quite straightforward, and I'm really pleased, because I was really struggling thinking, how am I going to use this? But I'm actually, because it's a Windows computer and it's also touchscreen as well, it's actually really easy to use. So here's the part just here. Like I said before, we can, on one of the last videos, we can either center pierce it, mark it like that, or do that. We can mark it because it's got the engraver, or we'll just cut it, and we're going to cut all that out like that. So that's what we're going to do first. We're going to go on to cutting this disc out, so let's go have a go. I've got this disc here. This is off a set of Gregory Besson discs, and they've got like a square shaft through the middle of them. And usually at this point, I suppose, you know, I don't need it anymore, but it'd be scrap. But I thought, can it cut the centre hole and the bolt holes just here, look, so we can make it into a reusable part instead of it going in the scrap bin. I've just set the X and Y on this, on just here, and set the height as well. So I don't know, is it going to work? Let's try it. 3, 2, 1. Is it going to work? Remember, we want it like that. Look at that. It's not bad, is it? So, I don't know about these bits, but I need to do like these bits round here, but that's a little bit more technical because I've got to draw it. So that's going to have to be for another video, but they line up all right, they do. So, yeah, right, on to the next test. I'm going to write my name. Set that in. Edge stencil TOMLAMB. Now, if you look here, look, you see like the naught, the O of the O. It's got these little bits, because what happened was Crawford sent me a picture of a stencil he wanted cutting out, and we cut it out, but because it wasn't holding all like the little bits together, it cut it all, but when you picked it all up, it all drops out. So like the A here, look, you'd need to like put like a little line, and like the B there, anything in the middle. So like when you pick it up, it all holds it together. So that's what I've got to do, but I've got to do it in like this CAD program that comes with it as well. So seems pretty good. I've drawn the tom lamb out on the thing now, and I've saved it to the computer. Because once you've done one thing, you just keep saving it. So if you ever want to do it again, you just go back to it. I still don't quite know what I'm doing, but we're getting there. And then I've sent it to this, which is now on here. I'm going to move it to here like this, and then I'm going to 0 it. Where do I want to be? Just set this slow. I'm getting the hang of it slowly. Look, I'm setting this this little laser across here, so I'm going to 0 it. So if I start down in this corner just here, like that. Now hopefully, if I press go, it's going to cut my name out, hopefully. Ready? Now then, whilst we're sat here waiting for the CNC plasma cutter to cut out, is it going to work? Oh, of course it's going to work. So that's T. Oh, how good is this? It's brilliant, isn't it? Now it's going to cut the outside out. And hopefully, because it's the water bed, I should be able to just pick it up straight away without it being too hot. It's actually not. It's actually not hot. So not only have I got my name, I've now got like all the M's and B's that are in the water here somewhere. Ha! Ta-da! So you can see what I mean about, look, the O. If I'd just cut like a circle, there'd be nothing left. So we've had to put like those two little lines there to hold it. Same with the A, look, it's got that bit there to hold that bit in the middle. So, yeah, another successful test. Right, what we've got next? One more test, but I'm going to show you how to do this now because it's quite easy. So I'm going to click on this. So this is what I clicked on earlier for the disc. Like I said, D1 is the outer circumference, so we're going to change that to like 250. D2 is that bit there. We'll change that to like, I don't know, 100 mil. Because this is all done in mil, you see. What's the next one? D3, that's the size of the holes. I want 12 mil, let's change that to like 16 mil or something, I don't know. D4, that's that bit there, so we'll change that to like 140. N is, the outer bit like that. I don't know what we'll change that to. Let's just change that to 7. I don't really know what I'm doing, to be honest, but I'm certainly having a go and I'm willing to learn. So that's our part now, which it says it's going to cut out. So like I said before, we can do all that, but no. Right, saving. So out of that sheet of steel, look, I can actually add 2 bits. I can put that'll fit just there like that. Put another one there. Or no, I can't look because it's overlapping it. But I only want to do one anyway, and if I just want to add one, I just press that and just as many as I want. As many as I can fit on the bit of sheet of steel. So I'll get rid of that one because I only want one. So next, and then the next page, technology, don't need to do that. This one here, it then shows me, so it's a bit idiot proof, shows me what nozzle to use because the bit on the end I can change the nozzles to different thicknesses, but it tells me what to do. It tells me it's going to take to cut that out 1 minute and 14 seconds out of that bit of 8mm sheet steel or whatever. So this is like a general work information. So when you're quoting for work for other people, it will tell you it's quite a good way to do it. Right, let's cut it. So I can do like a dry run if I wanted to. So it will run it without cutting it to make sure it's not going to hit anything or run off the bed. So I can do that. Loads of different bits and bobs I can do. But I'm actually going to come and set the 0 just here again. Just there we go. I just like having a go really, it's quite good fun. But 0 that there. Right, I'm going to go have some lunch whilst you watch it. There's a hole around the other side, but that was when I just did a little cut. So there, I've no idea what I'm going to use that for. It was just a part that was loaded on there, so yeah, chuck it there with all my other bits. I'm going to need a little scrap bin in here, aren't I? But yeah, so all I'm going to do now to finish it off, we said we park it up. So that's going to park itself down there, so that when I want to put another sheet of steel on in the morning, or whenever I use it, I'll be able to. So I was looking at a few different things to do to sort of help pay for it, because I've got to pay for it, and that would be hiring out the table. I asked another couple of farmers, and they're like, yeah, we could actually hire it to them, so when I'm not using it and they want to make their own parts, if I roughly show them what to do, they can use it, and then hopefully that will help pay towards it, cutting parts out. I don't know really. Has anyone else got any suggestions? Bit of a sign making, do some sign making like Farm Workshop, Tom Lamb signs, loads of different bits and bobs really. I'm not really sure, like there's so many things going through my head, you know, you can do so much with it, but I've only been using it for like a couple of hours, so hopefully, you know, hopefully this will pay for itself very quickly. Thanks very much for watching. Hopefully in the future you'll be seeing us make a few bits and bobs on here. I don't know what yet. Loads of bits planned. So yeah, right. See you all soon. Bye-bye.